So when we are working to kind of support ourselves lovingly through the emotion, right, which is so, so, so important. Once you master that, you've got 95% of the equation, in my opinion.
I
So,
agree.
so what you want to do is you want to use adaptive behaviors versus maladaptive behavior. So let's talk about that definition really quickly. A maladaptive behavior is something that people do that might make you feel better in the short run, okay? Like reaching for food in response to feeling anxious, right? So it's like, well, hey, that kind of works, but it doesn't do anything to really take care of the underlying feeling of anxiety. Okay, so that's why we call it maladaptive. It's a behavior that doesn't really hit the target, and then at times can then backfire into causing more problems, versus an adaptive response. So like, let's say with anxiety, okay, if I'm feeling anxious, most of the time I'm going to text Ashley. I'm going to
Yeah,
say,
and I'll text back.
can I just like, process something with you, or can I vent, or do you have like a 5 minute, kind of touch base when I'm taking a walk tonight? So that is adaptive behavior in response to my anxiety, because I'm recognizing I'm anxious. I'm going to reach out to a trusted friend. I'm going to process it through, because she's so brilliant. She's going to help me to feel better. And then through that process, it will actually take care of the need of allaying some of my anxiety. Maybe I figured out some pieces of that anxiety. I've shared it with a friend. I've vented the energy
Right.
of that emotion. So these are all adaptive ways to support yourself through, an emotion that just doesn't feel good, like lack of control. Okay.
Absolutely.
So we still have a feeling of lack of control that's giving rise, let's say, to anxiety. We're not doing anything majorly to change that, because sometimes we can't. We wish we could change this pandemic automatically. But what we can do is we can support ourselves through our emotion in an adaptive way so that we don't do something that's maladaptive, like turn to food.
That's right. And so our focus then in full recovery is what I can control is my response to my emotional process, even when I can't control the world that's going on around me.
That's
Right?
right.
I can't control a pandemic. I can't control how other people are going to respond to me. I can't control a lot of things, but what I can control is when I feel something, I am fiercely committed to giving myself the space, the permission, and the love to process that through, whether that's internally and or externally, like you said, with a friend or family member, whoever, a therapist.
Yeah.
And that's really where we have control.
Yeah. And really think of, is this behavior I'm engaging in, is the relief that I'm getting from that emotion short term or long term? Because a lot of times clients will argue, no, I really do feel better when I go on a diet and I feel like I've lost some weight and I feel in control. But that's a short term fix, okay? Because it doesn't really hit the target of I feel out of control. Okay, it's a pseudo sense of control. So if you reach out to a friend and you process through your feelings that make you feel out of control, that's going to be a long-term benefit. Okay, versus going on a diet for 2 or 3 days, feeling short-term better, right? And then still kind of being there, sitting with the real feeling, which is I feel anxious and out of control because of the world around me.
And
Okay.
then when the diet doesn't work, then you have that on top of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Causes another issue.
Yeah.
So try to think about that, because this concept, we get asked this a lot about, like, well, what does that mean? Like supporting myself through an emotion. Like, how do I do that? What is that? And it's complicated. So try to think about it in terms of adaptive versus maladaptive, short-term fix versus long-term fix. Okay, is my behavior going to create a secondary problematic behavior? All right, which it will give you some sense of, am I going through that emotion in a way where I'm tolerating it and supporting myself in a positive way?
Yeah. Wonderful.